Hey guys, Netherking here, and welcome back. So, I realize these will probably go out on the same day. I'm not the kind of person who likes to keep parts apart, but... So, we are right back into it. With NG, our engineer, and she is opening the door to the daylight. And I think we're going to make a storage area. So, I'm probably going to make that just off the side here. Be a good spot for it. And we're going to go ahead and keep going. So, another thing that these guys need, and I said I was going to talk about it, is a joy source. So, joy sources are, they'll just sit there and they'll relax. Like, if they've had it rough and they just want to relax doing something, they will go ahead and do it. So, she is currently going to relax socially. See? She's relaxing right now because she wants to get her joy up for a bit. So all she's going to do, she's just going to sit there in the chair and just have a good time. Now, I want to see how much steel we have. Plenty. And how many components, of course, we have enough. I'm going to go ahead and make a freezer. So, one thing that is very important in this game is that food spoils. So you want to make sure that you have somewhere to securely put it. You also want to make sure that you have a storeroom for just, well, everything else. So, we're going to go ahead and structure wall. Going to make a little freezer right here. Gonna have a door to it. And we're actually going to go to temperature and take a cooler. So, the way a cooler works is the red zone is its exhaust, that's going to be hot, and the blue zone is where it's cooling, that's going to be cold. We're going to go ahead and put that in. We should have enough steel, because I thought I had some... Yeah, I have some more down here. So we've got plenty of steel. And I'm going to designate this. I'm going to go up to zone and area. I'm going to designate this a stockpile zone. So I'm going to put it all right there. I'm also going to give this a floor. What kind of floor should I give it? I might just give it some more wood floor. That'll be the simplest thing to do. So I'm going to go ahead and have NG prioritize cutting a tree. And this room will slowly be built. So now I've made this a stockpile zone. So if I go down one, I can go to storage and tell it that I don't want it to hold anything other than food, by turning all these check marks to X's. So I don't want it to hold anything other than food, and we're going to go down to medicine and tell it that I want it to be able to hold herbal medicine. Because herbal medicine will also spoil, because it comes from literally harvesting a plant. So, go ahead and do that. And that means that all meals and stuff will get put in here. Just any food. And that herbal medicine. So that way it won't spoil because it goes in here. So she's going to go, and I think she's taking it over to the cooler. Yeah, she is. And she already made her horseshoe pin, which is kind of nice. And then we'll have her cut that out and put in the wood floor. And probably reinstall her bed one back. So that's something that's kind of neat. You can press reinstall, and you can have them basically just move the item wherever. Some things can't be reinstalled, though. Like a torch lamp. You can't pick that up and move it. There are a couple other things, but like the solar generator and just kind of bigger stuff. And the cooler, because obviously it's in the wall. It kind of has to be there. But once we build this, we're going to build a production electric stove, because this is going to be where the meals are cooked. And so we'll have some power conduit running from here to here. And that'll be plenty. We still need 80 steel for that, which we have more than enough. There's 75 in just that pile. That whole thing is 208. And she's already building the cooler. So more than plenty. The cooler doesn't yet have any power. Now it does, because it connected up to the generator, or up to the solar panel. We're not going to have it really try to do anything right now. So we're just going to leave it above the temperature that it's supposed to be, because that way it won't try to cool it down. Because right now the walls aren't finished, so that room isn't going to keep its temperature. And so she's just plotting out the power cables and some for the electric stove. There go the power cables. Okay. And she's just going to go get some more for the stove. So, this is going to be our little freezer area. And I'm going to show you that you actually need to have it be a freezer rather than a fridge. So, you can actually, things will be refrigerated instead of frozen. Refrigerated makes things last longer without spoiling. But freezing in this game actually makes them last forever. They don't spoil. Well, until they come out of the freezer, obviously, or they get put somewhere else. So, yeah. I'm going to let her make the oven first. And if you look every time the door opens, you can see the power conduit under it. Oh, we can also replace this torchlight with an actual lamp. So we're going to make a standing lamp as soon as she takes that away, right there. And she's going to reclaim the wood and use it for other things. And here comes the music again. I love the music in this game. Just, there was a disclaimer right at the beginning though. If you're going to use it said if you're going to use this for YouTube, just give proper credit. If you want the music, buy the soundtrack. Don't try to download it yourself. And guys, you really shouldn't do that. Just get the music if you want the music, but get it the right way, alright? And the lamp is already on. Man, she is just working fast. And she's harvesting the berry bush. So, she's actually going to, when it gets down to it, because hauling is all the way down here, when it gets to it, she's actually going to haul the berries into there, because that's where they're designated to go. No, why are you doing that? So I'm going to draft her, and I'm going to pull her up here. Oh. No. I'm going to undraft her, but shoot, there we go. Now she's going up to the table. I think it's if it's out of a certain radius, they won't, like, eat it at the table. I think that's what it is. And so there she goes. She's going to harvest the oak tree, and then she's probably going to keep building on that. I should just have her prioritize hauling the meals, but for right now, it doesn't really matter. So we're just going to speed this up a little bit. There we go. She's taking the wood over to the site, and she's building a whole load of things. It's actually nice and warm in the main area there. We're going to have her keep harvesting. And she's going back and she's constructing all over again. Making loads of progress. She's probably going to head to bed after she cuts the poplar tree. No, she is still going. So, here's what I was talking about. It spoils in 13 days, and it's deteriorating from being unroofed. So, when it goes into the storage area, it'll be just fine. Now, she doesn't actually have any prioritized work for me to clear. She's actually just doing... Yep, there she goes to bed. I was going to say, she's actually just doing that because she is. So that's a good thing. While that's happening, I can show you... Now, you have to make bills on the production tables. So you click bills, and you click add bill, and it'll tell you a list of things that this production thing can do. So we're going to see what her cooking skill is. She has a cooking of 4, which actually isn't too bad. But if you go to bills and you try to make a fine meal, it says that you need a cooking of 6. And it tells you when when none of your colonists can do what you just told the table to do. The recipe cook fine meal requires the skills below. None of your colonists have these skills, so nobody will do it. Nobody has a cooking of 6. Well, I've only got the one colonist, and she has a cooking of 4. So she can still do simple meals. So I have to cook simple meals until we have 10. Now, cooking meals is actually a bit higher on the list, but she'll cook until we have 10. I don't actually have enough food for her to make 10, I only have enough food for her to make 3, because it takes 10. It takes 10 items. So, work amount requires raw food. Cooks a straightforward meal from 1 ingredient. So, yeah. Anyways. So, yeah. It takes that. And a simple meal, quickly cooked from a few ingredients. And it would deteriorate kind of quickly, but that's if it's left outside. So, and it is 100% flammable. But you can actually sell them if a trader comes by. So, yeah, I'm going way too far into simple meals. But that's because I'm just kind of waiting for it to be daylight again. It's already the 3rd hour. Now, I did change it to Fahrenheit, but I can't seem to find where to change it to standard time rather than a 24-hour clock. So, unfortunately, it's going to be a 24-hour clock. That might drive some of you insane when I say that, oh, it's the 24th hour, instead of just saying, oh, it's midnight. So, you'll just kind of have to bear with that part. So, anyways, Angie should be getting up fairly quickly here. I know that Shamrock is already out and about. And I need defenses. You've been here some time and have probably been seen. Pirate raids will start soon. You should prepare defenses. So, basically... Oh, she's going off to cook. Basically, you go down to security, and if you do the rich person one, you start with the research for an improvised turret, which automatically fires. The problem is that it's very expensive, and the turrets, they are good. Like, don't get me wrong, they are good. But you can't place people ahead of them because they don't have, like, friend or foe targeting. So they won't know the difference between an enemy or a friend if you try to go in front of them. But I can take some steel and make some sandbags. So we'll just make a little gunner's post. So if anybody comes up, NG can just hop in the middle of the sandbags, which provide cover, which makes her harder to shoot at. So yeah, so that is how that's going to go. And she's just moving the food over there. She's actually doing all her hauling right now, because hauling is further back on the list than mining, but mining is on 4. So it's kind of a do last kind of job right now. So she's just hauling all the meals where they need to go. I will make an actual storage room at some point. And now she's cleaning. And I think I'm going to make it right here. So, I'm going to take and mine that spot. And we'll quarry out a decent storeroom. And that'll hold the extra things. And so she's going ahead and mining. We'll put this back on normal speed. And so you can see she made some meals with the ingredients berries. So all we have to do to make this cooler start actually working is we have to turn it down, down, down. If we get it below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which 32 degrees Fahrenheit is freezing, if we get the room below that, which it'll slowly start to do, if you can see over here, it's got a temperature gauge wherever you're hovering. So it'll slowly like pulse down the temperature. You see it just went from 50 to 44. And it's just going to do that slowly over time until it gets down to where it is. So when it gets, I think it's between 50 and 32, it's refrigerated. But when it's 32 or less, it's frozen. So it is having a little bit of trouble keeping that. So I will have to turn it down just a little bit more. Let's go with like 24. And if it keeps it down there, it will slowly try to rise back up. But I think if it's down that far, it should be able to hold it down there. Yeah, it looks like it's holding it down there now. So that'll stay on freezing, but it will use up significantly more power. So it is actually stealing from the solar panel rather than the battery, which is really good. The solar panel's amount is going down simply because it's turning to night. So it is getting darker. And she's coming up and she's eating a meal. I am going to put in some more wood flooring because I don't currently have a stone cutter's table. I'm going to need one though, so I should probably make one. Furniture, no, production. I have visitors. Group from the Lepido of the River are visiting the colony. They seem to have a few items to trade. So we'll click jump to location and that'll show us where they are on the map. So they're all the way down in the bottom right corner. And the guy called Crocodile is the one with the trading. So I'm going to go ahead and find NG, who is currently hauling wood to the wood floor blueprint. Thank you, NG. And she is going... I have to use her to talk to the other person. Now it says I have low medicine in my stores. That's because she hasn't hauled over the medicine. I don't currently have a storeroom just for medicine yet. So that's why that is. I don't actually have low medicine. I just don't have it in a quote-unquote storage room. So we're going to go ahead, and Crocodile's going to come over. And we're going to talk to him. Let's get him over a little bit faster, though. He's just talking to Ibis there. And normal speed. So, Angie's cleaning up a bit. She's doing some mining. We'll have her come down and talk to Crocodile. So now, silver is actually the money in this game. So you saw that we have a silver deposit right there, so that's pretty good. So non-reusable throwing spears. They have some pemmican, which is a preserved food. It tastes bland, but it's not offensive. There's this thing you can make called a nutrient paste dispenser. And apparently that stuff, nobody likes eating it. So now, if it was a different kind of trader, we might actually be able to sell our cat or sell these other things. But right now, they don't want our other things. So it won't let us sell it to them. Also, they don't have too much that we want. We don't really need the herbal medicine right now. We still have all of our Glitter World medicine. The throwing spears, it's kind of iffy. We don't really need those either. So we're just going to let him go on their day. They'll probably eat at our table and stuff. But, yeah, they're having a deep conversation over there. So this room, it doesn't matter if it's dark. This battery is slowly running out. We've struck compacted steel. Okay, so this is actually compacted steel right here. If we mine this, we get extra steel from it. I think it's 35 per spot mined. So that's actually really useful to have there. I'm just going to add in a bit more wood floor. And we're going to go to production and make a stone... where are you? There, stone cutter's table. We're going to set it right here. So this stone cutter's table is actually going to be very useful. I am going to have her actually dig the steel though. So that's going to be good. Anyways. So I'm actually going to leave that stuff for next time, guys. The Chronicles of NG. So just, yeah. Like I said in the last part, go ahead and look at the description. It's going to be pretty much the exact same because, I mean, this is just part 2. And so, which, that's fine, and there's not much else to say other than I will see you next time, Netherians. Good day.